Good evening, everybody. Our weather extra for this Monday night. Going to talk about a few things. Of course, severe weather. Talk about that. Let a few more people get on here. No comments yet. All right, we got 49 of you on here. Thank you. So today there was actually a tornado down in Florida, north of Orlando. Some of you on spring break may have got that alert on your phone from our 48 First Alert weather app, or the WIA alert probably would have triggered that too. But overall, we are in our prime of our severe weather season for spring, and I want to show you, we can start with the graphics here. You can see, I've showed this several times, but you can see in the gold bars there, any storm system that's strong enough that comes through here and has enough instability will have the ability to produce tornadoes. So it should come as no surprise. And I know some of you have anxiety. I've fielded a ton of questions. It's just too early to be concerned about if you need to go to this place, or if it's going to hit point A or point B. You just need to be making sure you're checking in. We're talking about it's Saturday. Of course, it's Friday night into Saturday morning, and then potentially late Saturday morning all the way into the evening hours. We're going to go through that storm system in great detail in just a few minutes, but I do want to talk a little bit about this. Usually we get into May. Last year was an exception. Usually we get into the month of May and we don't see as much tornado threat. We still see severe weather and tornado and hail all the way through the summer months, but typically this all starts to shift to the west, out into the Midwest, where they typically have their tornado alley. It's usually April, May, and June out west. I had to have a sip of water. That pollen count is high. So what we're going to talk about here is what happened this morning down in Florida. Probably a little unexpected. I think they had a marginal risk out. As we take a look at the radar here, you can see everything kind of fired up overnight and this morning. And this was around that upper level low that we talked about that really kind of hung out down south along the Gulf Coast. For you spring breakers down there, they had some rough weather. But again, this came through. And as far as the video from that area, I believe they said this was an EF2. You can take a look at some of this damage. Again, this was on the northern side. This is from, I believe, our sister station, WAFF, down there in Orlando. This is a well-built home. You can see the safest place in that home was in the center on the first floor. And again, you see one home that's destroyed, and the other home is barely touched on both sides. So this tornado was likely skipping a little bit. And this is why you want to get into the centermost part of your home when we're dealing with these types of tornadoes. Again, EF2 tornado there this morning. And a lot of the homes down in Florida, they have these, I don't know if you'd call that a lanai, or what, they've got the all that fencing around, to keep the alligators out and the mosquitoes out. Doesn't always work. But again, that was a look earlier this morning down in Orlando. That was around 10 o'clock in the morning. So I see that this happened. I'm messaging my son, he's between jobs. He's started another career. He's actually going into construction, but he's down there in Lakeland, and he had been working south of Lakeland. Now he's got another job. Eventually he's going to transfer up to Nashville, but he's in Orlando, but he was just completely unaware that we had that situation going on. So that is why we give you that heads up this time of year, just to be weather aware as everything changes rather quickly. And we're doing these weather extras again at 9:30 in the evening, and then throughout the day, other periods of time. But here's the satellite radar going back to this morning. You can just kind of see how this all moved through. And thankfully, it was right after the rush hour. One of the TV stations actually got a buddy down there. Their TV station got hit. So we got a big quiet break here. And these are the breaks when we prepare for our next round of strong storms. Now, the next round, a lot of people aren't really talking about this, is Thursday. We've got this storm system, looks like a big bowling ball out there. This is what that storm system that moved to our south over the weekend looked like initially. These are cut off areas of low pressure. Basically, it's like if you were looking at the water, there would be this area that's just circulating, this eddy, and it's just kind of shifting ever so slowly. These are very difficult to forecast. For one, it's hard to tell exactly where this is going to go. Two, this could have an impact on the storm system coming this Saturday. If anything, I think this is probably going to pull get that moisture from the Gulf moving northward Thursday. So by the time Friday night into Saturday morning rolls around, this area low pressure that continues to slowly spin is going to kind of feed into this next storm system coming our way. Now what we have is a big subtropical jet down to the south of this that gets that moisture off the Pacific, takes the moisture from the Pacific into Texas, Oklahoma, eventually places like Arkansas and Louisiana, but we've also got moisture coming from the Gulf once this gets all the way across the Rocky Mountains. So what this is going to do, this will set the stage for a round of some isolated to scattered thunderstorms, and this will happen most likely during the mid-morning Thursday. We could see some small hail, and what we're talking about is dime size or smaller. Some frequent lightning possible, but this will not be around as severe weather the way it looks now. You can kind of see as we go through this, what we're going to see is some heavy rainfall, associated some frequent lightning out here, and this is about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. But one thing, this model, we're getting into the high resolution model range. And the challenge with the weekend forecast right now is we're not in the high resolution model range. We're in the long range, the European and the GFS, and they both show different solutions. The European makes the most sense right now, and we're going to talk about that after we take a commercial break coming up here in just a second. But we're looking at this heavier rainfall moving into the western side of the state. It's all around this upper level low, locally heavy rainfall possible. This is just before the noon hour here Thursday. This will continue to slowly move east. And even with the rain out there, we're still looking at temperatures around 70. And the dew point temperatures are going to go up. So this is also kind of what I'm leaning towards is this is kind of an event between events. So this will be inconvenient for some, could cause a few issues out there. And I think by Thursday night, early Friday morning, the lunar eclipse on the way, I think the clouds should clear out by the peak time for the lunar eclipse, and we'll keep you up to date on that. So as we go past 4 o'clock, this all moves to the east, and then it's pretty much over with. So over the next 3 days, really nice, 75 degrees Tuesday, 77 Wednesday, close to 80. I think Wednesday might hit 80 degrees. Some of you may see that as well tomorrow. And then we run into the speed bump, I call it, which is Thursday. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the Friday night into Saturday time frame as we look at that. All right, everybody, we are back. Let me get my buttons right here. I'm going to go right here. Again, this is Weather Extra, a little bit more weather. We know you're going to need more weather over the coming months as we're in our busy season. But having said that, every system that moves through here doesn't always produce severe weather. We just talked about the Thursday system. I don't think it's going to produce severe weather, but we will want to watch that as we continue on. So here's a look at tomorrow. Another beautiful day out there. The pollen count is a huge problem out there, and some of you already are aware of that. We continue to monitor that over the coming days. We're going to just see extreme pollen. Here's your 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, Saturday is a 48 first alert weather day for the potential for possibly 2 rounds, as if 1 round isn't bad enough. Could see 2 rounds of these strong and potentially severe thunderstorms. We're going to get into that in just a second, and I will be here if it does start to break out. It'll be a long day for sure. But Friday looks good. It's going to be windy as we go later into the day Friday. We're going to talk about this low-level jet that's kicking in. We've talked about that a lot, and that's really a big key element in severe wind gusts, especially this time of year, and those winds get high. Here's that pollen forecast. Today it was high. Tomorrow it's going to be, I'll call it extreme, and Wednesday extreme. The only thing really pushing it back a little Thursday is going to be the fact that we've got the rain. Here's our outlook for severe weather, and we'll continue to fine-tune this We just don't know the right timing. I'm going to show you the model guidance here, but it doesn't. I wouldn't cancel or make any plans based on what you see all the way through tomorrow. Now, as we get beyond Wednesday, the high range models start getting into better view here. That's when we'll have to watch that. We're looking at 2 rounds of strong to severe storms. Both will feature heavy rain. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this for you guys so you get a better view of what we're looking at. Well, you know what? I'm not sure how to take this. Does CTV1?
Yeah, that should be.
Is that it? Yes.
That's it.
All right, so you can get a better view of that. I'm still learning all the buttons on my Stream Deck back here. But both of these rounds, and the second round, here's the thing, is the GFS brings in, kind of misses us with the first round and gives us half of us round on Saturday afternoon. I'm not buying that. I buy the European model a lot more because it has one round kind of coming in and weakening between 1 a.m. and 7 a.m. Still frequent lightning, strong gusty winds, low-end tornado threat, potential for some large hail. And then it has the Saturday from noon to 10 p.m., big storms coming in, very heavy rain, and you'll see that here in just a second. The tornado threat's there, the large hail threat's there too. So again, that's one thing we're going to have to watch closely. Now this is the low-level jet stream. I'm going to have to take a quick drink here before I get more into this. Check your messages here as well. Oh, we got someone spamming us on here. The spam bots. Anytime they see something that gets attention on Facebook, it's like the best. It's like the movie The Matrix, when those bots start coming after them in the ship. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Here's Friday night into the early morning hours. Okay, got us up. You know, I wonder if I saved this when I did it. We'll find out pretty soon. So this is the low-level jet coming in. These are the winds at 4,000 to 5,000 feet above the ground. You see it, this is why it's going to start getting windy during the evening hours. These are not at the surface again. They can influence surface wind gusts, and they drive the overall storm system. When we talk about storm dynamics, this is what we're talking about. So as we continue on into the evening hours, notice how we're progressively getting more of a 50 to 60 mile per hour. This is basically not a gust. This is sustained wind. But notice how it really starts to increase after midnight. And this will make sense when you see the line of thunderstorms too coming up. But just kind of remember this. We're looking at isolated damaging wind gusts here within this whole line as it comes in. And here's really why I wanted to show you this graphic, because I think it really represents the two phases of this. So as we get into the middle of the morning Saturday, and again, I'm monitoring the weather conditions for the parade. The St. Patrick's Day parade's coming up. I'm not sure if it's a 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. start, but there could be a brief window to get this all in. So as we go beyond 9 o'clock in the morning, stop at around the 1 o'clock. All the winds are out of the southwest, and that big jet streak is gone. But watch what happens during the afternoon. Look at this surge coming in from the due south of these very strong winds. These get even stronger by Saturday around 10 o'clock. So this is why I say don't cancel any plans, because this could come in, and this is still early on in this event. This could actually turn into a Saturday then to Sunday kind of event here, if at all, depending on how this plays out. So notice how the winds really start increasing, especially here just after midnight. This is Saturday night into Sunday morning. Those blue areas, those are winds at 4,000 to 5,000 feet that are at 90 miles an hour out of the south. So similar to the last storm system we had. So this shows overall an intensification of the dynamics here and the wind profile. So with this particular run, it would have the threat of severe weather increasing as we go later into the day Saturday, and especially east of I-65. So here's the actual data here, which you're more used to seeing. This is Saturday morning. It kind of shows the line of storms coming in and weakening a bit as it moves in, but still very heavy rain. And notice as we go from 8 o'clock and about a 6-hour window here into the afternoon, where we see this, it starts developing here around 2 o'clock. This surge of deep moisture coming in straight off the Gulf, And this is where the flooding rain potential really starts to add up. You can see that goes through about 5 a.m. Sunday. So the back end of this, the 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. could end up becoming more significant than it looks right now. So just keep that in mind as we go through all of this. So once again, this is Weather Extra. I'll be doing this Monday through Friday at 9:30 in the evening. You can find us here. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us if you got Roku. We've got an app for that. We're on there. And you can also find it on Amazon. Not Amazon, but Fire Stick. We got Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Roku. Man, what will they come up with next, right? Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Coming up 10 o'clock tonight. See, the thing about going on daylight saving time, all the model runs, we have to wait. So that's the only downfall, at least in my vision of it. But I guess it's kind of good. You don't have to make any last-minute decisions. All right, you guys take care. Appreciate you.